Ho
I want to ask you about the Camavinga incident. What did you make of that action, and how is he doing?
Well, it's an action that no one understands how you can send a player off for something like that in a match like this. It's clear that the tie ended at that moment, and it's something completely inexplicable, unjust. We're very, very hurt because the tie slipped away from us in a way that you simply can't control. And obviously, I feel deeply for my players, for the effort they put in. I feel very, very proud of them, of the fans, of everyone who traveled, of those watching from home, and of the club. If this defeat hurts so much, it's because this year we won't win the 16th, and above all, because of the way it happened.
When you were preparing the match over the last few days and chose your lineup, were you expecting such a chaotic game with so many chances for both sides? Did you think, I need to come back, I have to go with a more attacking team? And in that moment in the second half, when you had 2 or 3 clear chances, did you feel like this won't even go to extra time?
No, I think I picked the best team to win. We had to come here to win. We couldn't come here to speculate. I wanted to score goals. I knew Bayern, with the way they play, would force us to defend as well, so I wanted players capable of dealing with that aggressive man-to-man press. And honestly, I'd do it again. I'd pick the same lineup. I think every player made a great effort and showed a lot of personality in this stadium against a top team. In the second half, we knew we had to hold on, and we had those chances. Unfortunately, we didn't take them. In football, what matters is being clinical in front of goal.
At the end of the match, the frustration with the referee was clear. There were also some dismissals. I'd like to know how the dressing room is right now, what the situation is, and how you experienced those final moments of the match.
We're very hurt, especially because of the way it happened. From here, I also want to congratulate Bayern Munich for the great tie they played. But we would have liked to be beaten in a different way, not like this, with what I've said is an inexplicable sending off that no one understands. That's where the feeling of injustice and anger comes from, and the pain my players feel seeing how their work, effort, and sacrifice were undone by a decision like that.
Watching the replay on TV, it seemed like the referee wasn't aware that it was Camavinga's second yellow card. I don't know if you had that impression on the pitch, if the players felt the same, and whether you were able to speak to the referee about it.
No, I believe he showed the card precisely because Bayern players told him it was the second one. But even so, it's not even a situation that deserves a yellow card in a match like this, deciding a player's fate over something like that. I think referees sometimes, I don't know, maybe they haven't played football or don't understand how to handle these situations better. But beyond that, it's even worse if he didn't realize it was the player's second booking, especially since Camavinga had only come on in the second half. I think that's a double mistake.
It was an important match for the project, for the season, for the players, especially after a difficult campaign. What positives, if any, can be taken from this?
I don't know. I don't know if we can take anything positive right now. As I've always said, I am responsible for defeats. I will always take the consequences of a loss like this because I think the fans should be very proud of the players, of how they gave everything, their heart, their lives, and the personality they showed. Since I sat in this chair, I've tried to help the club, not necessarily in the best way, but in the way I can. And from now on, we still have some matches left, and as always, we'll defend this badge to the fullest, just like these players did today.
You've taken responsibility for defeats, but you're also responsible for eliminating Manchester City, and for the team competing well today, and even winning until you went down to 10 men. How are you feeling, and do you still have the strength to keep going? I assume you do.
As I said, since I took this role, it hasn't been about proving myself as a coach. I've never wanted to win matches through my decisions alone, but by helping the players on the pitch. We've faced many teams, Company's Bayern Munich, Guardiola's City, Simeone's Atletico. Most teams in Europe have a clear identity shaped by their coaches. I don't know how much of that identity this team has for me, probably a much smaller percentage than the examples I mentioned, or even compared to my time with Castilla. But as I've said, I've always tried to help the club in any way I can, and I will continue to do so until the very last day.
What do you expect for your future now? Do you think this tie and the one against City could be enough arguments for the club to give you another opportunity?
I'm not worried about that at all. I'll fully understand any decision the club makes. As I've said, I'm a club man. If I'm hurting today, it's not because of myself, it's because of Real Madrid. Because this year we won't win the 16th. I'm hurting for the players, for the club, for the fans, not for me. My future concerns me very little. Since I took this role, it hasn't even been a minor concern. I feel that I've done everything I could to help my players win every day.
You say you're not worried about your future, but over these 4 months, the focus has often been on the players, and you've received criticism. Still, the general feeling among Madrid fans is that they've been very satisfied with your work. You don't know if you'll be on the bench next season, but if not, would you like to remain part of the club or move on to another team?
Right now, I'm not thinking about any of that at all. As I keep saying, it's up to the club. I'm a club man, and the only thing I want is for Real Madrid to win, regardless of who is sitting on the bench.